Okay, now Doc Hanley here, folks. I've got some interesting things to talk about today. First, let me mention before I talk about why you might want to move to Alabama, we will take our trip to the 1902 train wreck in the next few weeks. We haven't made our preliminary journey yet, but we'll keep you posted on that. Uh, why would anyone want to move to Alabama? You know, Alabama has a bad reputation from 3 generations ago, and people love to hang on that and downrate Alabama, and which people here have been pretty glad of it because we're getting a lot of people moving here now. The top 10 states that people move to in the United States are Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, Arizona, Alabama, Georgia, Nevada, Idaho, and Oklahoma. So you see, Alabama in the latest survey I found was the 6th most popular state to move to. So why in the world would anybody want to move to Alabama? Why? Well, there are a lot of reasons why. If you live in the Pacific Coast or the Northeast, you know that you pay a lot of taxes. You got a lot of government burdens there. Uh, you got all kinds of things that cause problems for you, and people are struggling in a lot of these places to make ends meet. Now, if you're very rich, it's not a problem. If you're very poor, it's not a problem because they have great welfare states in California and Washington and Oregon and in New York and places like that. But, you know, if you're just a working person or a person of average income, average wealth, you need to go somewhere where there's not so much government overreach, where the taxation is not horrible. And so, anyway, you know, property taxes, for example. I don't know what they are in the West Coast, but Northeast, but I know they're a lot less in Alabama. My house is insured for a little over $300,000, and it costs me $500 a year. Uh, I assume that if you live on the Pacific Coast or in the Northeast, you're paying a lot more property tax than that. Uh, Also, the weather, the weather is pretty neat on the Pacific Coast, but in the Northeast, it's far from neat. In Alabama and most of the Southeast, we have a hot summer, but spring, winter, and fall are very nice, very temperate, very comfortable. If you can handle 4 months of hot weather, which I like hot weather, then this is the place for you. If you can't stand hot weather at all and don't want to stay inside with the air conditioner, then maybe you need to live in the Northeast. I don't know. But anyway, we have uh, we have low crime in Alabama, and I say that with a little caveat. If you go to, say, Birmingham or Montgomery, in certain places, you don't want to go there. Just like any other city in the country run by Democrats, law and order is not that great. And I hate to have to say that, but you look at the cities in the United States with the Democrat government, there's a lot of crime. And it's the same thing in Alabama. But if you live in Birmingham or Montgomery, you know where not to go. There's only certain places where you're in any kind of danger in those cities. As for the rest of the state, you know, it's pretty much smooth sailing. There's some places in Mobile as well that aren't safe, but people that live there know where they are and they stay away from the dangerous places. So you really don't have to worry about your safety in Alabama. Uh, you know, we got some nice mountains in Alabama. They're nothing like the Rockies, nothing like the Smokies, but they're pretty mountains and they're nice, and we got beautiful beaches. Uh, have white sand beaches with clear water. Someone said, well, why haven't I heard about the Alabama beaches? Well, I guess because, you know, Florida gets so much publicity. And I told somebody one time, I said, you know, Northwest Florida has wonderful, beautiful beaches. But, you know, Alabama is closer to Florida than Manhattan is to Brooklyn. You take one step out of Florida and you're in Alabama, and the beaches are the same. You got the same white sand, the same clear water. Uh, there's just not as much publicity, but we got dozens of high-rise condominiums on the Alabama coast, and we got a lot of people who come down from the Northeast and northern Midwest and Canada in the winter to spend the winter where it's not cold. We have a warm winter, except for when we get some of that Canadian air coming down, but that doesn't happen very often. We have a lot of bad negative stereotypes about Alabama, but like I said, if you subscribe to stereotypes, then that says more about you, about your education and intelligence level, than it does about Alabama or any other place that you have a stereotype regarding. You don't subscribe to stereotypes. You look for places for yourself. And, we welcome people that move here with one caveat. If you're going to bring your woke BS from the West Coast or Northeast with you, then just stay there. We don't want you coming here and turning us into someplace like in the Northeast. We don't want high taxes. We don't want government overreach. We don't want woke BS in our government. If those are the things you want, come on down, but remember to vote against what you're leaving. If you're leaving a place for a reason, don't come here and try to recreate what you're leaving. But anyway, there are a lot of reasons to move to Alabama, and it's one of the least expensive states in the country, usually rated about fifth least expensive of all. And if you'll look at last survey I looked at, the top 25 states in the nation for low expenses, 24 of them were in the South or Midwest. Only one of them, number 25, was New Mexico. So, if you want a low cost of living, if you want low taxes, if you want a peaceful environment, if you want a good climate, there are a lot of reasons to come to Alabama. If you're going to subscribe to tired stereotypes, then maybe you need to stay in California or wherever you are. And please, as I said, if you're coming here, remember what you're leaving and remember why you're leaving it, and don't come here and vote for that. We love for people to come here. We love to welcome people here. My wife's from the Philippines, and we laugh a lot because Filipinos are very conservative, religious people, which is a very good fit for Alabama. But they'll come to New York usually or California and start voting for Democrats and not realizing they're voting against exactly what they believe. If you're a conservative person, a religious person, a person that believes in law and order, then vote the way you feel. And, if you're that kind of person, come here. And, if you're going to come here, please don't come here if you're going to keep on advocating woke policies or, liberal idiocies. We don't need that here. Stay where you are. We don't mind you're doing it in some other state if that's what you want, but please don't bring it here. So anyway, those are the reasons you might want to move to Alabama, and most people never even consider moving to Alabama. I've heard of people going from the upper Midwest to Florida, and instead of coming through Alabama, they divert through Georgia or somewhere so they don't have to come through Alabama. And I get a good chuckle out of that, but that's the way things are with stereotypes. So anyway, I appreciate your listening. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll like this video. I'm still trying to build the channel. I'm not posting very often, about once a month, but I will be posting more often later on. And so this is Doc Hanley saying thanks for staying with me, and God bless you.